Yes, you heard right. Get 90 days of picks for only $6.10 per day. A WagerTalk 90-day all-access pass covering all sports, all client releases, and all 5% best bets are priced at $8.49. But for a limited time, you can save $300 and lock in your favorite WagerTalk handicapper for the next 3 months for only $5.49, coming out to just $6.10 per day. Have an existing all-access pass? No worries. Your 90 days will be added to your current subscription and won't kick in until your current access expires. Act fast as this offer expires Sunday at midnight.
Welcome, everyone. Wager Talk today, May 21st, my last day of being 51 years old. He's Teddy Covers. I'm Lawrence Presman, and we have a great show for you guys today. Rob Veno joining us. He's going to look at the Boston-Brooklyn game tomorrow, the Dallas Clipper game tomorrow, and today's White Sox-Yankees game. Skee Profits at the bottom. He's going to give us a prop bet for tonight's basketball game. He wants to talk Lakers with you, Teddy, and we're going to delve into the WNBA. What is up, brother? How did you do last night?
I had a good night last night. I went 2-0 for myself and the clients. No complaints. That's my job, man. How about yourself?
I had a 2-1 night. I had a 5% play in the NBA, my first 5% play ever. And I told you guys, I called Rob Veno the best NBA expert on the planet. I asked his opinion. He gave me the go-ahead. Washington Wizards. Oh, my God. I mean, that's the type of 5% you want to release, Teddy. When you're nervous for the first quarter and then the game just runs away from Indiana. I did go 2-1. I lost. I had the Leafs. I lost. And people are all, oh, the Leafs. You're a fan. You must be so upset. Guys, here's what I learned last night. The Leafs minus 140 to win the series. That is as good a bet as you will ever get. Take it now. Put it in your back pocket. When it wins, go out for a steak dinner on me. The Leafs minus 140 to win the series. So what? They lost the game. Come on, people. However, they did lose their captain last night. Teddy, did you see that injury?
I did not.
Oh, my God. Teddy, it was brutal. Like this guy is done for a long, long time. He's the captain of the Leafs too. It's a gut-wrenching loss, but I think it'll galvanize the team, bring them together, and it's no wonder they lost last night. The entire team was rattled. I mean, one of the guys was literally at tears coming out of his eyes on the bench in the middle of the game. It was just gruesome. But what can you do? Leafs are down 1-0. Just gives us a great betting opportunity. What did you learn last night, Teddy?
Sure. I learned yesterday, and it wasn't last night, it was yesterday, that I was reading a little bit about the Florida sports betting bill on top of what we're seeing in New York right now. And the Florida sports betting bill that just passed just granted a monopoly to the Seminole tribe for the next 30 years at $500 million a year, which I guess for this legislature makes sense. You just got $500 million of revenue. You didn't have to do anything. For bettors, it's a terrible. It couldn't be worse. I mean, it really couldn't be worse when you're talking about granting a 30-year monopoly to one company that doesn't do this. It's not the way to make legalized, regulated sports betting take over. What happens in a situation like Florida when you pass a bad bill? The bookies are still in business, the global marketplace is still in business, and the revenue projections don't meet, or the revenue doesn't meet the projections that you had. So then what happens? The state's like, oh, we're not making enough money from this. We got to charge more, which is more, minus 110, and now it's minus 112, and now it's minus 115 on both sides. It's a real disaster what's happening in Florida right now. New York's bill isn't much better, to be perfectly honest. Nevada has a pretty good game plan. All right, we've got a template that other states can follow. Some of them have, some of them haven't. I understand people want more revenue than Nevada offers. Nevada, the state takes a 0.5% off the top, which is minimal. Other states want more. Understand that. But the Pennsylvania model, the Illinois model, the New Jersey model, all far better than what we're seeing in the populous states of Florida and New York, and God forbid what California is going to put out. This is a big deal for bettors. Be aware. If bad legislation gets passed and signed, we're right back where we were. And sports betting being legal, yeah, it's legal, but you don't want to bet at any of the legal books. You want to bet at the illegal books or with the bookie. So it's non-sports bettors making sports betting decisions. It's frustrating for me, Prez, to watch it. Hopefully, we'll see some changes and some edits in these bills that are in the process of being passed. If not, it's bad news for sports.
So Teddy, let me get this right. The Seminoles are paying the Florida government $500 million a year to take action from the Florida residents.
It's not just a sports betting bill. They're also getting all kinds of online gaming, and they're going to have online blackjack and other things that have been not legal within the state of Florida online. So it's a broad online gaming bill. But yeah, $500 million a year.
Yeah, because if it was just sports betting, and you're looking at, say, 10% juice as your income, they would have to take $5 billion of action to break even. I don't think this sounds like a good deal for anybody.
Well, according to the legislatures and the tribe, it's a good deal for both sides. But no, it's not just sports betting. And honestly, if you're talking about a monopoly for the state of Florida, $5 billion, maybe. I mean,
yeah,
stranger figures have come.
Dude, they estimate upwards of $300 billion a year bet in America. So, I mean, yeah, Florida's a big state, but man, that does suck for the Florida residents. But hey, they don't live in the cold tundra of Toronto, so they win regardless. Teddy, Joe, Canadians don't say A. Like it is, Teddy, it is like the weirdest freaking. Where did you Americans make this shit up? When do I ever say A? No, Americans say huh at the all the time. Canadians, they just speak normal, man. Now, with that said, the people in Newfoundland do say A, but that's like 5 people and a dog. I don't understand where any of that came from at all. Teddy, real quick. I know we got a jam-packed show, but in keeping with the what did we learn last night, dude, how good is this Wizards team? I mean, I know they're not a contender, but man, they're going to be a super tough out. I mean, we saw Russell Westbrook without anybody take the Oklahoma City Thunder to 7 games. I wouldn't want to play this Wizards team if at all. I mean, I think they're going to be. I think them plus 1.5 on the series might be a good bet.
Well, when we look at the series prices right now, the Philadelphia 76ers are basically 10-1 favorite to win the series.
Yeah.
So the only team that's a bigger favorite to win the series is the Nets over the Celtics right now, although we'll have to see what the number is depending on what happens in tonight's game between the Warriors and Grizzlies. But the bottom line is 10-1 dogs don't win a whole lot of NBA playoffs. Washington.
Well, that's why
Washington
that's why I said plus 1.5.
Yeah, which means you're saying, all right, take it to 7 games.
Yeah.
I don't know that the 76ers get tested that way. I wouldn't be surprised if Philly sweeps.
Wow, there you go.
I'm a Sixers believer. Let me be very clear. Yeah. I'm a Philly believer, and I don't know that the marketplace is there with 76ers. But I believe in that 76ers team. I think they're the favorites to come out of the East.
Yeah, I don't. We're not on the same page there. Welcome, everyone. Yoshi Overtime, Big, Sebastian, Proud, Smiley, Andrew McGinnis joining us. We love you all. Sebastian, I know you talk smack a lot to me, anti-Leaf fan, wearing your Montreal shirt on Twitter. Brother, it's minus 140. I'll give you minus 150. Put up $1,000 against me, please. We'll donate money to charity. Come on, man. I'm sick of all the talkers, Teddy. Let's see some doers. It's like Kyle Anthony. Yap, 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 yap. Won't post a video. No. Bunch of talkers, Teddy. I'll put my money where my mouth is.
Sure. It sounds to me like someone's getting a little defensive now. The Leafs are down 0-1.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little defensive there.
Yeah. It makes it fun. I love Sebastian. Sebastian, I love you. Teddy, let's bring him in. Rob Veno, the hair, one of our favorite guests. We keep him stowed away until our Friday show. Robert, how are you, brother?
I am good this morning, Prez. How are you?
You know what, dude? I got to thank you, man. You were the guy that pushed me over the edge to move my 4% to a 5% yesterday. I appreciate you taking the time to help me with that Washington play. You know, I mean, I'm lucky, man. I am lucky enough where I can call some incredible people to ask their advice on my handicapping. And I appreciate you taking my call, being there for me, and reconfirming the play. So thanks for that, man. How is your week? You continuing to roll?
You know, the week has gotten better in Major League Baseball, and it's been a couple of stumbles the last two nights in NBA. So where NBA is concerned, the record's good enough to absorb a couple of, nights where you don't bring up big winnings. But Major League Baseball catching a little bit of fire now is important because Major League Baseball was not great up until this point. So I'm happy with that. I think we'll get back on track in the NBA without any problems here. I see some good stuff upcoming. Real quick, guys, I'll make my first analysis brief because I'll chew up some time here. Where that Florida betting bill is concerned, TC, just on a personal note, what they call in Florida racinos, right? It's a casino plus a racetrack. It's a casino plus a highlight fronton. I have one of my best buddies, 59 years old, still plays professional highlight in South Florida. Wow. And for them, the end came yesterday. The end of their professional careers basically came with that announcement yesterday. So shout out to all those still playing highlight, one of my favorite sporting events to go watch. And, for racetracks, I know ski is huge with Gulfstream Park, one of the standalone parks down there. I think there's only two in Florida from what I read. The end may be near for them as well. I have to dig into it a little bit further, but from what I'm reading, it doesn't sound good for the folks at Gulfstream Park. So to add to what you were saying, where negativity is concerned with the signing of that bill, I would add that. That's just not good for anybody.
Teddy, follow up?
I mean, so I agree. The bottom line is, Florida's legislation is bad legislation. Bad legislation produces bad results. Period. And you talk about all the, what the Seminole tribe has done is they've basically eliminated all their competition. Excellent lobbying. I don't know exactly what they do behind the scenes, but the Seminole tribe is as wired in as anybody can be wired in state government, and they just got a big bill in their favor. That's bad for bettors. Let's shift focus to the games over the weekend, Rob, and I want to start out by asking you about the Celtics and the Nets. This is a game where Boston played very well. And Boston, look, down the stretch, over the last weekend, they showed a little bit of heart. 3 covers in a row, which they're showing something. Brooklyn is a team that hasn't gotten a whole lot of practice time together. How do we look at the Celtics and the Nets? I know you're interested in the first half here. Tell us why.
Yeah, and I'll be brief with this one, TC, because I basically played this game on the strength of one set of numbers, and those are the Boston Celtics first half numbers. They've been notorious slow starters for quite some time now. I'll go over some quick numbers with you. In their last 7 games, they're 1-6 against the spread first half. If you want to stretch it out to 14 games, they're 4-10 first half, last 14. We can stretch it out to 28. They're 9-19, only 32% cover first half wager. Now, they're in an underdog role here, so we have to look at that. As an underdog in the first half, they're 3-7, 30% cover. They've been terrible. Been slow starting. They've talked about it for quite some time. It hasn't really gotten any better. The Nets, on the other hand, as they start to pick up here towards the end of the season, their last 4 games, they went 4-0 in their first halves. Always a favorite. Won them all by 6 points or more. You're laying 4.5 here, so certainly 6 is more than 4.5. I think the Nets, with a little something to prove here. And I think you could say that about any of the home favorites, right? They want to get off quick. They want to establish dominance, blah, blah, blah. Everyone is not going to be able to do that. Some road visitors, road dogs have a say in that as well. But I think this one will point towards the Nets. Boston's defense has been pretty good last 4 games. It's picked up from what it had been throughout the season, 45% or less field goal percentage shooting against them in the last 4, Cleveland, Minnesota, Knicks, and the Washington game. I think you have to take into consideration the hobbled status of Bradley Beal in that game, the fact that Russell Westbrook may or may have not had his head into that game. But I don't know that they have enough to slow down the Nets, guys. Certainly the Nets are going to come out and push. The Celtics' three-point defense is one thing that's not good. Bottom 10 in the NBA, 21st is where they rank. Nets have inside-outside capability. All the quotes you see coming from Brooklyn are from the big 3 are no problem, no problem, no problem. All our talk of cohesiveness throughout the season, something we worry about with these guys, they don't seem too worried about. I'm going to take the Nets first half here, -4.5. I think they get it done based really 80%, guys, on the fact that Boston just has not been a good first half team whatsoever.
I want to ask you about
Rob,
the series, Rob, real quick.
Sorry, Teddy.
Yeah. Is this a 1-2-3 Cancun situation here where the Nets are just going to run Brooklyn out of the gym? Run Boston out of the gym? Certainly from a series price perspective, the markets are giving a whole lot of respect to Brooklyn here, not much respect for Boston. Do you think the Celtics can be competitive in the series, or is this first half against Boston the harbinger of full game against Boston, full series against Boston, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, I think real quick, Teddy, if we separate it, point spread competitive, obviously, yes, you can be point spread competitive. Straight up wins in a series, can you push it more than 5? In all likelihood, no. So I think in that answer would be Nets dominate here. But you always have to, the point spread's a great equalizer, and Celtics certainly can be competitive plus big enough points.
Rob Veno, everybody. Number 1 NBA expert at WagerTalk 2 years in a row. Congratulations on that, Rob. Handicapping the NBA is such a tough thing to do, and it's really unbelievable. And I love this handicap on Brooklyn first half. It makes so much sense. Let's talk about the Dallas Clippers game. This should be a doozy, man. I'm a huge Luka fan. We got a total of 219. I know you want to talk about that. Under or over, Robert?
Yeah, I like this one under, guys. I'll start with this, Prez, because you mentioned Luka. This is going to be an all-out defensive assault against Luka Doncic in the playoffs. Yeah. That's what it has to be, because you take him out and you cut the head off the snake, so to speak. They'll wall off the lane to try and keep him from penetrating. Patrick Beverley, who didn't play in 2 of the 3 meetings between these two, will pester him out on the perimeter. He's one of those guys that gets under your skin, tough to deal with verbally and, physically, basketball fundamental wise. 3 games they played this season, all 3 went under this number, guys, 219. All 3. Here's what's important about these games going under. In all 3, Dallas shot 49.4% or better. They shot excellent against this team. All 3 games. Still all 3 went under. One of these games had both teams shoot over 49.5%. The 3-point field goal shooting for Dallas was outstanding. Over 40% in all 3 games. Again, still it went under. The LA Clippers, over 40%. It's your best 3-point shooting team in the NBA, by the way, percentage-wise. And 2 of the 3, they shoot better than 40%. None of these 3 games broke 208 points. We're looking at 219 here. So certainly that backs up an underplay here. It's 2 of the 3 slowest tempo teams, or 2 of the 4 slowest tempo teams in the NBA. I think 4th to last Dallas, 2nd to last are the Clippers. Rick Carlisle, I've said this before on the show, guys. He emphasized about 16 games ago. I counted back to the exact number. 16 games ago against Detroit, he started to emphasize a little more pace to his offense. And it kind of worked. I mean, they played a lot of overs since then, 11-5 to the over, 11-4-1 over this number of 219. However, 13 of those 16 games were against teams that either rank in the bottom 10 in defensive efficiency or rank in the top 10 of tempo in the NBA. Clippers are neither. Clippers are a great defensive team. and they're a very slow offensive team. I think all those factors above, and the fact that Patrick Beverley is present in this game only adds to the fact that, liking under 219 seems to be a good way to go.
Yeah, and Rob, they clearly adjusted it. I mean, they've played each other 4 times. It was 225, 229, 227, 236, but that was back in August. My question, do you have anything on the side here at all? I mean, Dallas has dominated this team 2 out of 3, and one of those games was a complete and total 124-73 blowout. They won their last game going away as well. They're getting 5 points. Clearly, there's some value on this dog.
Yeah, I'm a little bit hesitant, Prez. I'm not ready to jump in. I think my power rating showed the Clippers to be a little stronger than 5. That's probably why. So I think Dallas has had great success defensively for whatever reason against the LA Clippers. They haven't allowed them to do much in the way of offensive point scoring. So we'll see what happens if Luka gets loose, which if you're taking Dallas plus 5, you really hope Luka does his thing because that's what you're going to need.
Sure. And certainly when you talk about those 3 regular season meetings this year, they didn't just stay under the total. They stayed under the total by 31.5, 21, and 30.5 this year. And the one Prez was talking about back in the bubble stayed under by 28 points. So all 4 recent meetings between the Clips and the Mavs stayed under by more than 20 points. Let's talk about MLB for tonight. And the Yankees have been feasting on the weak of late. There's no weak team tonight. They get Rodon and the Chicago White Sox. Basically a pick'em game right now, looking at the WagerTalk live odds screen. Both teams in pretty good current form. Who do we like tonight? The White Sox or the Yankees?
I mean, there can't be a more mechanical play in Major League Baseball right now, Teddy, than the White Sox against the lefty, right? 24-2. Jordan Montgomery's on the hill tonight. The White Sox, if you just want to go through offensive numbers, they're number 1 in Major League Baseball in all the big 4 categories: batting average, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, OPS. White Sox number 1 across the board. And Jordan Montgomery isn't Sandy Koufax, so you get a mid-rung, slightly above average pitcher from the left side against this team. And this team has done all of this, which is really amazing, without Eloy Jimenez and without Luis Robert, 2 right-handed thumpers that were projected to be in this lineup and haven't been for this season due to injury. So certainly from a mechanical standpoint, it's real easy to take the White Sox here. I think you get a great price simply because they're playing the Yankees and it's at Yankee Stadium. You're not going to get this price with Carlos Rodon and the White Sox against a lefty in, I don't think, any other situation this season. So good price there. I wouldn't debate anybody. In fact, I'd almost recommend if you go ahead and play 5-inning line and you want to lay half a run, figuring the White Sox will be ahead after 5 because of their offense against the lefty, you're picking up $1.15 or $1.20 in that instance as well. But where the game is concerned, I don't fear the bullpen problems because the White Sox are fully rested, because their 3 best arms haven't thrown a lot of pitches this week, including Liam Hendricks, the closer, who's only thrown 20. Yesterday, the Yanks had a couple of guys go out there, Green and Chapman, 13 and 17 pitches, but that's not a lot. Bullpens are probably equal here. The splits here are real good for Carlos Rodon. You might ask yourself, is he better against lefties or righties? Is he better home or away? Really just about the same. Either way you want to look at Carlos Rodon. His away ERA this year is 0.56, whip of 113, 14.1 Ks per 9. He's 3-0 in those games. So I just don't think he's going to be bothered by this Yankee lineup, which has been mediocre at best so far. Give me the White Sox, either game or first 5.
Rob Veno, awesome stuff, dude. Today, 2:45 Eastern time. Guys, write this down. We have our NBA playoff preview show. Rob Veno, Teddy Covers, Skee Profits, and I'm assuming the ridiculously handsome Joe Ranieri will be hosting that. Rob, what are we going to hear on this show?
I think we're going to hear coverage of all 4 Saturday games. Potentially we'll dig into Sunday, probably some series opinions. You know, you mentioned the guys on there, Prez. Add to that Kevin Dolan, who's been great in NBA.
Yeah.
So we got just a host of guys with really good opinions, and we'll try and lead you in the right direction for Saturday and Sunday action.
Excellent stuff, guys. Make sure to check that out. 2:45 Eastern today. I'll be at my pool, but I'll pop in every now and then. Only because of Joe Ranieri, though. It's all about Joe. Rob, what do you got to promote?
Yeah, I can promote tonight's Memphis Golden State game. 4% best bet up and available right now, WagerTalk.com. A Saturday 4% best bet for you guys that want to get in early because these lines do move. That's also up and available. I've got an MLB, which has been going well as of late, up and available right now. Once again, all three plays at WagerTalk.com.
Awesome stuff. Guys, stay with us. Everybody, please. Teddy's Big Game Breakdown, Skee Profit, my penalty box segment. Rob, it was a privilege. Get out of here. We'll be back in 20 seconds.
Have you checked out all the new handicappers at WagerTalk? If not, here's your chance. You can take 50% off your first daily or 3-day all-access purchase at WagerTalk using coupon code TRYWT. Our new roster of experts is 30 deep, covering sports from all around the world, giving you tons of options to choose from. All you have to do to redeem this offer is go to WagerTalk.com, choose a handicapper of your choice, and use coupon code TRYWT at checkout, saving 50% on your first purchase.
It is time for today's big game breakdown. Let's talk a little Boston Red Sox versus Philadelphia Phillies for tonight. Looking at the WagerTalk live odds screen, I'm seeing the Phillies about minus 155. Take back on the Red Sox anywhere plus 135, plus 140. You can find even better than that if you shop around. And this is a little bit of a head scratcher of a line for me. Philadelphia, what are they? They're a 500 team. They're 22-22 right now. Where they strike out 15 times. They got shut out again yesterday. They scored 1 run the last 18 innings. They've got injuries that they're dealing with. Obviously, Didi Gregorius, JD Realmuto. Realmuto could be back in the lineup today, but I'm not convinced that he will be back in the lineup today. The money showing right now for Boston indicates maybe not so much. And, of course, you're missing your catcher and your shortstop. That's two pretty key defensive players. They're not a great defensive team to begin with. They got Nola on the hill, Aaron Nola, and he's someone that attracts a lot of attention in the betting marketplace. And Martin Perez for Boston is a starter who attracts a fair bit of negative in the betting marketplace. You look at the advanced metric numbers, you understand why. And yet, I look at Nola this year, 60% fly ball. All right, his fly ball rate is higher than it's been. But his home run rate is half of what it was last year. That's one of those stats that just can't hold. You're having more fly balls, but fewer of them are going out. A lot fewer of them are going out. I'm not buying it. Not against this hot-hitting Red Sox lineup. Pounded out 15 runs over the last 2 days. And Perez coming off a gem in his last time out. He's pitched fairly well against Philadelphia. I don't see Phillies at minus 155 today. This is a pick'em game. I think there's a nice plus price return on a Red Sox team that's playing better baseball right now than the Phillies are. Give me Boston at the plus price. There's your big game breakdown for Friday. Back to you.
Then Boston you shall have, Teddy Covers. Let's bring him in. Skee Profit, Hakeem, my friend. You pumped for the NBA playoffs?
Definitely. Started off really well, went 4-1. And just like Rob said, the last 2 days took a bump. So 4-3. We look to get back on track here today.
Excellent stuff. Let's get straight into it. Memphis, Golden State tonight. You got some props you want to give out? I hand the mic to you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we'll talk about this game on the tip-off show, so I'll save a complete breakdown. But you guys can probably guess the shirt that I'm wearing and where I'm going. As far as props in this game, I think there's one that kind of stands out to me a lot. You're going to obviously have to deal with Valanciunas in the middle again for Golden State. I mean, on the Memphis side. And I think you're going to have to play Looney a lot. And Looney, as of late, he's been doing a really solid job on the boards. Somebody's got to rebound the ball for them. His rebound prop is 7.5. He's went over that 5 of his last 6 games. And I just see him having a lot of minutes against Valanciunas. So I like that angle there. And also, I can understand playing on Valanciunas, although he'll probably have a lot of attention today. If you like the Memphis side, I probably would just prefer to play on him individually, whether it's points and rebounds. His rebounds is pretty high, though. I think it's like 14, 15 and a half. He got past it last time, but it's a little bit high for my liking. And lastly, or actually two more, I want to play against Dylan Brooks. He's been scoring, but I think the key to beating this Grizzlies team is to take him out of it. I look at the last game when they played. As soon as he got fouled out, Memphis went in the drought. They couldn't score the ball. And so I think if they contain him or slow him down a little bit, that's how Warriors win this game. Between slowing him down and Valanciunas, that's how you win. So I want to bet against Dylan Brooks. His point total is under 20.5. And I want to bet on Steph Curry. I mean, if you saw that game, they can't contain him no matter what they do.
Yeah.
If they're playing one-on-one, if it's a switch, if they trap him, they couldn't contain him any kind of way. So I like Steph Curry in every single way tonight.
So I want to ask you about Steph Curry because he's played beaucoup minutes in each of the last two games for the Warriors, and balls to the wall minutes as well. Do you worry about any type of fatigue for Curry here in another must-win game? I worry about him tonight, and I'm curious if you share my concerns about Steph Curry this evening because he's been on a monster roll, obviously.
I mean, I know Memphis is a much younger team, but I think they've been playing some tough games too. Their game versus Spurs wasn't like a runaway game. It would look like it at first, but I think it's even. The season that Steph Curry's had, I'm sure that he'll want to go out, not go out in this game. So I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, me either. Skee Profits, awesome stuff. Let's get into the Phoenix Laker game series. Man, Phoenix had such a great season. What a gift. What a gift. They get to play the Lakers. And the Lakers are favored. Phoenix plus 140, give or take. I think they got to be pretty bummed right now at this matchup. But hey, they got to get through these teams to get to the championship anyway. What do we bet in this series?
Yeah, poor Phoenix here. You get the number 2 seed and you have to face the defending champs.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what Teddy thinks of this one, but I understand people who've been going with the Suns all year value. Look how they've done our regular season. I'm pretty sure they cared more about the regular season than anybody else. Like they wanted that top seed and they played hard every single time. I don't think that they were that great versus winning teams. And I have a hard time seeing how they beat the Lakers in this one. Everybody's betting it. It opened like plus 200 or something down to, like you said, plus 140. But Anthony Davis, as you saw in the last game, had a monster game, like 42 points. They have absolutely nobody to contain him. And there's no Draymond Green. He's not going to see any time in defense like that for maybe even the rest of the playoffs. So I think the Lakers, they may start a little slow, but the more games that they play, they'll start to look better and better. If you like Phoenix and you're thinking that they're going to win the series, I don't know why you don't take them the first game. I mean, I could see where the Lakers lose in this first game and come back and win the series. I can honestly see it just like Portland last year. Everybody loved Portland. The Lakers limped into the playoffs, didn't look great. And Lakers lost the first game. Gentlemen swept them. That's how I think this series goes.
So when we look at the series price versus the game one price, it really is a fascinating handicap here because we got the Suns laying points in game one and the Lakers favored for the series. If Phoenix wins game one, the Lakers aren't going to be favored for the series anymore. If the Lakers win game one, they might be what, minus $3? Maybe higher if they win game one. So it seems to me like, as with most series, if you're going to make a series bet, it's correlated to your opinion of the next game these two teams are going to play. So I'm asking you, do I want to bet the Lakers before this series starts, or do I want to bet them after game one? Are they going to beat the Suns in game one, or should I hold off on my Lakers wager and get a plus price if they're down 1-0 after the first game?
I agree with everything you said. And for one, this is how I'll answer. If you like the Phoenix Suns to win this series, you go out there and you bet them game one because otherwise, why are you betting them right now? And if you like the Lakers, this is why I'll say it's a little bit different. Because like you said, if you don't bet them in the game one and they do win, you're now looking at minus 300. You can't get back in. And I dealt with this once before in the past when I think LeBron was going against Toronto and when he played for the Cavs. And I said, you know what? I think he's always bad the first game. They're not going to win. He pulled it out in a close game, and I couldn't get back in on the series. I think they swept him.
Right.
So how I approach this one, I bet it. Lakers to win the series. If they lose, I'll double down at the price. I'm confident that they'll come back and win regardless of the first game's outcome.
Skee, what about attacking it from this perspective? You take the plus 140 now on Phoenix. They win this first game. You're going to have yourself a sexy ass middle.
If you're confident in Phoenix winning the series, I understand, but I'm not. So I would take Phoenix first game. Like that's what I would recommend for Phoenix believers.
Skee Profits, everybody. Skee, let's go to the WNBA, and we've got, we're talking Phoenix again. They're playing UConn. UConn. Good one, Lawrence. Anyway, -3 for Phoenix against Connecticut. Where are we going in this game?
It's all good. You get a pass. I know you don't follow this day in and day out, but
WNBA, no, I do not. I could name one player in the entire league, and she's only started like 4 games or something.
Who is it?
Idru Shmescu. Sabrina Ionescu.
There you go.
Ibrahim Snunovic. Okay.
I find myself doing the opposite. Like yesterday, I was breaking down the NBA game and I called them by the sister team's name. But we just kind of saw this game the other day, or maybe the first game of the season. Connecticut played Phoenix, and Connecticut, I mean, it was a close game, but the advantage was really on the offensive boards. Griner, I mean, she's not really living up to expectations, in my opinion. She had 4 rebounds in that game, and Phoenix is going to go as she goes. She got outplayed by Jonquel Jones in that one. I think Connecticut had 25 second chance points. Connecticut is a really great defense. The Phoenix is going to turn the ball over, and they capitalize off points off turnovers. So I think the line is a little bit disrespectful now. I didn't even intend to come on here and talk about the side at first, but it opened as a 1 and now up to Connecticut +3. They're getting their starting point guard. Well, she played the last game, but she's going to start tonight. They'll be without Brianne January, but I think they're perfectly fine. They'll have the same advantages that they had in the first game, and I like them to stay within the margin. They can even win this game. And as far as the total, that was really my initial look. I think it's an under type game. I mean, as far as I usually like to have 3 or more games played, like I always say, these teams have played 3 games. And so far, they're first or they're worst and second worst in pace as far as slowest. And number 1, defending the paint, and number 4, defending the paint. So I think we'll see great interior defense in a slow paced game. I like the Sun plus the 3 points, and I like under 162.
So I got a follow up for Prez right here.
Yeah, baby.
When you were doing that WNBA, were you thinking in your head from the old Howard Stern movie where he goes on WNBC?
Yeah.
I could. Yeah. It felt that. I could see. And of course, the movie lines that are in your head are all 25 years old. I'm the same way. Skee, I want to ask you real quick about WNBA before we let you go. Biggest surprise this season in early season play? Anything that stood out to you where you're like, I did not expect to see this, and we've seen it early? Anything stand out to you in that regard?
New York Liberty. I mean, I expected them to be much better, but I think they only won like 2 games last year. They're 3-0 to start the year.
That's because of Idrowski.
and that's the most surprising to me. Like, people are now asking if they're contenders, etc. And it was a team that was a bottom feeder last year. So definitely surprising to see the Liberty out to that great start.
I'm not surprised at all, dude. Ivanisevic is amazing. She's a game changer. Anyway, what do you got to promote tonight?
Well, I have a lot of action. I am getting involved in WNBA, but today I gave you both of them. I have a big play in NBA, and I'll have one more up later today.
Dude, thanks so much for joining us, man. I know it's early for you youngins in Las Vegas. I get it. Go back to sleep. Have yourself an amazing night. We love having you on, Skee. Next Friday, brother. We'll see you then. Guys, it's time for the world famous most watched, most listened to in my house segment, the penalty box. Eddie, I am so sick of these people jumping into the chat room. This guy today, same nonsense as yesterday. You Canadians, you don't know hockey. When was the last time a Canadian won the Stanley Cup? Didn't we go through this yesterday? Every Stanley Cup, every single one. All because a Canadian player plays on an American team doesn't make that American team American. They are still Canadian. So enough with your people and that nonsense. And Jessica, who I love, you don't want to bet the Leafs anymore? Well, you're following me all year, so you're going to be betting the Leafs. Let's get into some free picks. Connor McDavid, Teddy, 3.5 shots over the total of 3.5 shots. Connor's going to put up 5 or 6 tonight, easy. Colorado Avalanche, up 2-0 against the St. Louis Blues, late game tonight. I like over the total of 5.5 in that game. I think we're going to get a fair amount of scoring. And as for the sides, Teddy, listen to this, man. This is a dog day. I'm going to hand out 4 sides on all the games. I like the Washington Capitals, plus 145. All 3 games went to overtime. I'll take the dog, please. I like the Nashville Predators, plus 123. Absolute must-win game for the Nashville Predators tonight. They are a veteran team. They got a great goaltender. They got the best player on the ice in Yossi. I will take them plus 123, but I do think Carolina wins this series in 5. I like the Edmonton Oilers as well tonight. They are a favorite, minus 170. I think they'll get it done. And I like the St. Louis Blues at plus 195. So there's 3 dogs and a favorite. Round robin them if you want. It's going to be a dog day night. Holy moly, that's loud.
Yeah.
Take us home, brother.
Yeah, no problem. Prez, best of luck with your dogs in the NHL tonight. Thanks for joining me as my co-host. Thanks to Joe Ranieri behind the scenes. Thanks to Hakeem Profit and Rob Veno as our 2 featured guests today. And most importantly, thanks to you guys out there in listener and viewer land for taking time out of your Friday to hang out with Prez and I. We'll do it again Monday through Friday. So we'll be back first thing Monday morning, 9 a.m. here on the left coast, noon on the East Coast. Between now and then, enjoy the games and good luck this weekend. And be sure to tune in the NBA tip-off show and all of WagerTalk's programming throughout the course of the week. Cheers.
No one was hotter down the stretch in the NBA than Marco D'Angelo as he went insane 33-12 against the spread. The NBA playoffs are here and the real fun begins as there are no more resting players and guessing lineups. Remember when Marco closed out the football season in January with a 17-4 winning run in the playoffs and bowl games? Marco excels in postseason play as he has a special offer. The NBA playoffs are $2.99, but if you act now, you get every play Marco releases in the playoffs for just $2.49 using coupon code MarcoNBA50. This special price package includes Marco's top 5 rated NBA plays as well. Hurry, this offer ends soon.